Hello, thank you for joining this small video about project-based learning. I'm Beatriz Hernández-Canut. I'm the Academic Director of the Master in Creative Direction, Content and Branding, but I also teach a course in graphic design and visual communication, besides coordinating other transversal programs. In this series of videos, I'm going to share with you my way of working with a project-based learning approach, and how to deliver key information to students also within the ecosystem of Blackboard. Now, before I dive into specifics, I just want to remind that the aim of project-based learning process is that we break down complex assignments or complex areas of the course into smaller units. And this intention is to better monitor and evaluate how the students are grasping the knowledge, their learning process, and how they progress throughout the course. Now, there are many different ways to do this, so I'll be sharing the approach that I take. But I just want to make clear that this is just one way of getting to do this PBL approach. Now, some initial recommendations, very straightforward, but sharing everything on day one, spending a good amount of time on that first session, it's key to this approach, because you're going to be able to go through the different assignments or the methodology, the course structure, and answer all the relevant questions or all the areas that are not clear for the students. So spending a good time on that first day, it's going to benefit throughout the whole course of your area. On a second approach, a second recommendation would be spending or making sure that the details in Blackboard, they also follow this project-based learning approach, meaning that you have very clear instructions, that the deadlines are clearly marked, that if there are intermediate stages, that they're also present there. I'll be showing you again how I do it. But it's a process that I've been modifying over the last years, and it has been proven to work efficiently, at least for my courses. And then finally, a very basic recommendation would be that when in doubt, just spending a couple of minutes explaining something further is going to clarify a lot of the questions. I also have some recommendations on how to help this last point of enabling all those extra clarifications to all of the students without having to repeat yourself over and over again. Now, talking specifically about Blackboard, there are many different ways to organize content, either by direct links or in folders. You also have the learning modules. However you find yourself that makes sense for you, what I do recommend is establishing a criteria of priority elements. So for example, for me, you'll see this in the following video, I have right at the top of everything, I have those elements that I want them to be super accessible, that are going to be updated regularly, that have key information, so that they don't have to scroll over an infinite page in Blackboard. Now, these priority elements, of course, it's the syllabus, and then we have a folder containing the learning material, where here they will find the class presentations, additional links, references, basically anything that it's going to help them grasp better the meaning of the course, but also will help them also in the execution of those assignments. Then the assignments folder, again, you'll see an example of how I'm doing this process right now, but again, there are many different ways. And then depending on the course, I do put the asynchronous activities sometimes as direct links, so that you don't have to go into another folder to access something that has a very particular moment in time within the course. Now, below that, I would put what's less relevant or things that they're not critical, no? So these secondary elements would be a folder with class recordings so that they can revise critical content, no? And then the thumb link quickly, or I don't know, maybe downloadable material or resources that they're not going to be used all of the time, but they could be interesting for them to have in a lower level within the Blackboard structure. And finally, I do like to complement this type of content with some extra stuff. Typically, they're going to be very simple elements like cover photo for the course. You'll see this also in another video. But then I complement it with a very direct link to the office hours booking, so they know that they have that option there always. It's synchronized with the calendar, and it sends also a reminder to the students, so it's a very accessible way of organizing both my time and their time if they need to expand on something. But also adding a discussion board for frequently asked questions, for general doubts. This board here, I will put it always in the middle of between the priority and the secondary elements, and this is my way of managing that moment where I need to expand things further, no? Allowing this discussion board in Blackboard and having it visible for all the students. It's a way of explaining things once and make it shareable with the whole of the class, because typically the doubts are repeated, they have similar questions, and this is a way that I can manage my time and make sure that everyone has access to information that I'm sharing with some particular students. Now, related to actual assignments, no, I'm basing them on how to follow this process of a project-based learning approach. What I do with the assignment structure is that I have different pieces of information that have different relevance, no? So from the bottom down, I would have the grading criteria very, very visible in the assignment space, the grade weight also, so they know the relevance of how much this assignment is going to affect the final grade of the course. But then, again, with that same logic of primary and secondary elements, right at the top, that's where I would put a lot of emphasis on detailing and breaking down the steps to complete the assignments. For example, in this particular case, that we do an assignment based on posters and adaptations. It's organized in different stages, so they have right at the beginning what a synchronous session is linked to a particular stage of the project, how to submit it, and the final delivery with a shared folder link, so that they know where to submit things. And then in the core area, we would have all those detailed instructions, the goals, deliverables, the limitations, formats, any recommendation that would be useful for the students. Now, this part here, it's what you need to, the instructors, the professors, need to think through carefully, because how you break down those assignments and how you approach the PBL logic, it has to be well thought, and it has to be very, very clear, because this is going to act like a roadmap for the students, no? Because the moment that they need to submit something, they're going to encounter this phase. So for me, spending time and making sure that all the information that it's here in the assignment space, it's clear. It acts also as a checklist for them, and it also assures you that they have all the information or all the things that for you are important that they accomplish when submitting or when doing the different exercises. So we'll move now into the next videos where I go a little bit deeper into the structure and talk more about my way of doing it. But like I said, you have to do something that feels right, that makes sense for your course, and that it also works with your workflow, your availability, and your approach into teaching. So thank you for listening, and I'll be sharing also some links to how to deliver some of the content that you'll be seeing next. Thanks.